Here we are at hello, welcome to the channel, Bannockburn Interchange. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever fucking happens here. Alright? It's not going to happen tonight. There's a motorbike. There's nothing's going on. I think we've got a tail. Is it a Coppers? It's a Volvo, it's white. Oh no, going straight on. Aye, so I was, welcome to the channel. I was watching a documentary. It's quite disturbing actually. It's from I haven't even watched the end of it, but something that happened recently, 2018, and it's, I mean, everything that happens and has ever happened is generally, you know, about human behaviour and things that people do, and it was from an area that I lived in, an area I know, and it was Kirriemuir and Arbroath, Angus. I've got children up there. Well, I've got them, not exactly, Montrose, it's further up. Anyway, that's irrelevant, but I suppose I can sort of identify a little bit with that area and the actual park, Kirriemuir. There's a photograph of me and my son there, my pal Ian, you know, from going back 1989 or 1990, and so I'm watching this documentary, and it was an awful story of human failure. You know, because I've got sons, I've got 3 sons, and 3 of them, they don't fucking talk to me, but I've still got 3 sons, and you know, I still obviously feel for them. But what happened is this laddie from Arbroath had this girlfriend, or he thought he had discovered, or whatever sort of was happening, she was with this other guy from Kirriemuir, and this laddie had a job offshore, seemed quite well off, he had a BMW M series, a small one, and you know, seemed to be doing really well, but for some strange reason he was involved with this evil little bitch. So what they did is they killed him in a car park just outside Kirriemuir. It's a fucking horrendous story. So this guy and his pal kicked fuck out of him in his car park. You know, brutally battered him to death in a car park, and then set fire to the car. Fucking horrific story, you know, really tragic story. And because if you go into the book, The Games People Play by Eric D. Byrne, 1964, Penguin Books, I really should get that book, buy it, it's probably available. The Games People Play, so it was like, lets you and him fight. So the lassie had these 2 guys fighting with that other guy, you know, the boyfriend. It turns out she was sort of 2-timing. She was an evil wee bitch, evil bastard, you know. So they're in jail. So that was like 2018. This was like, I don't know what the story is. I have known murderers. I've met a couple. Well, I've worked with one, and that was up that area actually. But I have known, and it's, you know what, really, that is, I don't know how you could get around that, doing that to somebody. And I suppose you do think about violent things. I mean, most people do it. You think it, but you don't do it, do you? sort of like difference. Thinking, you know, evil thoughts, or I'm going to batter this person or that person, you know. I mean, I'm not saying I get these thoughts, but I have done in my life, yeah. Usually there's a certain level of accountability required, that if you feel that way about somebody, you know, you are responsible. Quite a degree of responsibility for being involved with that person at that particular time, you know, and you should really take steps to be uninvolved with them if they're making you feel that way. Of course, this is when it all goes wrong, when you're in relationships and you maybe have children to somebody or whatever, or, you know, whatever way around it is. But I think, like, probably what happens is people are broken somehow or another. They're not brought up properly. They're animals, and I accept that I did a lot of, you know, I was involved with a lot of stupid shit when I was younger, but I was very irresponsible. But obviously my life is, in that department, it's quite settled, you know. Well, I'm not married or anything like that. I'm settled. I have a relationship, and it's been like that for a few years, and it's fine. There's no, you know, there's none of that sort of thing, right? It's just so tragic, you know. That young guy, 27 he was. I suppose that if that was 2018, I take it that's, I need to watch it to find out more, but I didn't even know about that. It's funny how you go through your life, sort of, or maybe you did hear about it and you didn't really pay much attention to it. So if he was 27, 2018, same age as my, so it's 33, same age as my son, the eldest one. He seems to be really sensible. You know, married, got a bairn. Probably got a mortgage. I don't really know much about him, but seems to be doing well. It's his choice. He doesn't want to have anything to do with me, so that's his choice, you know. You can't really make somebody, you know, you can't really be on the back foot and sort of try to convince somebody to like you or something. That's not going to work, you know. They have to want to do it. So he doesn't want to do it, or if he does want to do it, he's not doing it, which means he probably doesn't want to do it. So that's just the way it goes, you know. And people have ideas about me, or they've been told things about me or whatever. I suppose that happens with everybody, you know. It's kind of normal. You've got to work it out for yourself normally, but often you get tangled up. You get evil women involved, which is what I've got in my family. I've got evil women involved, and that's what the story that I was telling you about. It's got, well, an evil woman was involved. You know, somebody that couldn't really make up her mind as to who she was going to be with, and then so that lad, he lost his life because he couldn't recognise when it was time to, you know, get away from her. She was only grand. Was why the reason why he got lured to that car park was, I think, to get the. She said she was going to give him the grand back. But wouldn't you be thinking that's a bit weird at 2 a.m? You know, he's probably wanting to, his emotions and everything. He's probably wanting a shag. It's terrible what happens. It's terrible. That's why all these cultures have arranged marriages and everything. You know, and what happens in our society, you get to do as you want. Of course, there's a lot of, the laws are quite strict in our society, so you could easily find yourself, generally, if you've got somebody that, like a woman, for example, who is constantly having men getting arrested and stuff, or reporting men for this sort of thing or that or the other, generally they are sort of broken women, because they can't, they're sort of drama queens, or they're a bit disturbed and they seem to thrive off that sort of thing. Or they're sort of part of that broken sort of dysfunctional type of relationship. So if that's happening to them quite a lot, then they are like a waste of fucking time, really, you know. But like I say, it's the way we have it that we all have these freedoms. Freedom. I'm doing 55. Heading into Edinburgh. I've still got 3/4 of a tank of diesel according to the gauge. Generally, I only really use it to go into Edinburgh and back. So I don't know how far that is, how much miles I'm doing. It's something like 7,000 miles a year, I think it is. I'm actually using this more than the car. Well, I use the car to go to England, so that might sort of, you know, I've had the car for 3 years. What the hell's going on here? We get somebody dawdling along. Pulling it to the left quite a bit there. Sitting there, the Fiat 500. It's quite a nice night. I wasn't going to bother videoing actually, and then I just sort of switched it on, and then it sort of occurred to me about that horror story. I think it's because I could identify with the area as well, and I used to work with guys from Arbroath. Well, I haven't been to Arbroath for a while. It's kind of on the coast, so you wouldn't exactly necessarily go there. What a waste. And the annoying thing is that little bitch will probably go out of jail. I mean, if she's been in for 6 years, or maybe 5 years, I don't know when she got sentenced. But if she's been in there, I mean, I knew this guy worked for me up in, it was near Lawrencekirk he lived, and I don't know, I've probably told this story before, but he was a bit, there was something, he was alright, but there was something a bit funny about him. He got a bit, like, aggressive, or weird, or creepy. It wasn't exactly aggressive, as in, I'm going to punch fuck out of you. It was more threatening. He got threatening with me a couple of times, and it was kind of like out of the blue. It wasn't like I was really, like, it wasn't a very strange situation that happened at the time. It was out of the blue. He just got threatening or strange, and he gave me the creeps actually. I don't know, I actually did worry a wee bit, you know, and I just thought, fuck it, I don't want to work with this cunt anymore, so I sacked him. And I says, I'm not working with him. And that was that. I seem to remember he actually was really angry when I got rid of him. And basically it's because I didn't really know that much about people at that time, you know, and he came round to my house at night, because there was a couple of tools or something. So my ex gave him the tools. So there wasn't anything that happened or anything. Anyway, to cut a long story short, a year later he murdered a child. It was about a year later, yeah. And I felt this weird sense of vindication, although it was extremely unpleasant, you know, obviously. But what he'd been with this lass, and she had a child to a previous relationship, and he was using the child You can look this up if you want. His name was Sandy McClure, but I don't know if he's changed his name. It's actually on. It was in the Press and Journal. I looked. You can look it up and you'll probably find it. Or maybe it was Alexander. I'm not sure. It was Sandy or Alexander. Definitely a strange guy. The youngest of, I think there was 4 of them. And so what he was doing was he was using the. This is horrible. Sorry if I'm a bit horrible tonight, but he was using the bearing against this partner. She was obviously it wasn't obvious, was it? She was not quite right in the head, and it was a dysfunctional relationship. So he's probably out of jail now. That was in 1990. No, it was not. It was not much later than that. It was like 1998, 1999. So that was 20. I'm just trying to think exactly when that was. It was the late 90s. It was probably about 98 or 99. He worked with me. So it must have been the late 90s. And he'll be out of jail probably. How can you forgive somebody for doing something like that? You know, it's certainly I'm not prepared. Well, it's nothing to do with me. I'm not prepared to forgive him for doing that to that child. But it's, you know, how does the universe work? I don't know. You know, he could be dead for all I know. I don't know. He was quite a bit younger than me. He's probably, at that time I was say 32 or something. 33 would probably be. So he's probably late 40s now. The other murderer that I knew, I don't know if it's really probably appropriate me talking these things, because if somebody got this video, the people that I'm talking about, they could be really pissed off about it. But yeah, so they could, right? So I'm going to take that chance. I've already mentioned somebody's name. Maybe the next one I won't mention the names. Would that be better? Aye, I think so. This was up in Montrose, Brechin and Montrose, 1992, maybe 93. So won't mention the names. The guy, this is real events, but I'll try and paraphrase it a bit. His woman was with somebody else. His woman, inverted commas. I don't know what that means. Was it his wife? Was it his girlfriend? Partner? What does it mean? I'm not sure. I can't actually remember if he was married to this woman. It's another classic tale which is in the book. Tragic one, actually. So he went round. They were in somewhere in Montrose, I think it was, and he killed the 2 of them, his partner and the boyfriend, or whoever. You know, I don't know if she was his partner. She might have been his partner. But anyway, she was with this other bloke. Killed the 2 of them, and now the weird thing is, I knew the guy. I knew. There's a sort of spavour connection between. See, now I'm getting a bit close to fucking dangerous talk. There's a spavour connection between me, so that's my 2 sons, and the guy. So they are related. I'm not related to him, but they are through through previous. So the previous person that was fucking my ex was related to that guy, right? So that's what I mean. So I'm not related to him, but my children are, right? No, they're not related to him either. Let's think about this. No, they're not. Sorry, I apologise. They are related to somebody who's related to him, right? That's what I meant. So they are half sister or brother. Half sisters are related to that guy, the murderer, right? So about 10 years later, I'm in Edinburgh, Ingliston Market, goes to a burger van, and have a cup of tea. They bother. I said, "Oh, you from Aberdeen?" Aye. That was him. He'd served like 7 or 8 years in jail, or 10 years or whatever. Was out fucking 10 years later. So, you know, I was like, this was that be called a crime of passion. Again, evil bastard, you know, that the depravity of human beings. And so I sort of got talking to him, and I started talking about his brother and that. Never seen him again. The thing is, you could land up going out with somebody like that and you don't know their past. Well, there was a law about that, wasn't there? About this. It was this last year in Yorkshire or something. Funnily enough, her dad was from Aberdeen, and he pushed for some law that you could go and get. This is all a bit weird, you know, because you can go and get information from the police about. It's all a very strange thing. There's a lot of problems with that. Oh shit. Oh dear. There's a lot of problems with that, and that sort of thing. That's not going well, is it? And that's because the thing was that was very strange. It's sitting resting on its own. There's no problems here, not a problem. So I think I think that's the end of that story for tonight. Do you think so? Yes, I think so. So thanks for watching. Bye.